caring for your soul. No. Caring for your soul. No, caring for your soul. What do I mean by all this? Well, what do you think when you hear soul? Well, you think, oh, well, it's like this essence of me. And no, when I'm talking about your soul, it talks about you, not you as a human, not you with emotions, you as a person. What makes you, you? What is it that moves your soul? A great movie? Good book? Have you ever seen a movie that made you cry? What was it that got to you? What deeply inspires you? Does music, art, being in nature? By soul, I mean that your inner self that lurks far below the surface of your everyday life. No, I don't mean the one that's like, not the party person that comes in and everyone's like, hey, he's in, hey, hey, hey. I'm talking about the one that goes home and then listens to classical music while suddenly just drawing or making art or just playing a game no one else wants to play. The real you, the deep you, the one that's real, the real one in the streets, real one. Your soul is your center, wherein lie your deepest convictions and values. Yes, it is the source for purpose, meaning, and inner peace. I have my own set of values. You have your own set of values. And convictions, I mean, let's see. If I had a value, it would probably be honesty. What do I mean by honesty? No, I don't mean you have to tell me everything about yourself. No, I don't mean that liars are going to get it bad. I mean, I know some people that lie. And I'm not condoning it, but I'm not going to treat it like it's the end, of the world. What I mean is when someone tries to be who they're not. And it's blatantly obvious. Honesty to me is like authenticity. You know? No one wants that Chinese knockoff. People want the real deal. So honesty is important to me, and I love to be honest. You're never going to see me be fake to you. I will always be honest with you. If you ask me a question, I will be 100% honest with you. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to be blunt about it either, but that doesn't mean I'm going to lie. So, sharpening the saw in the spiritual area of life means taking time to renew and awaken that inner self. That's true. I mean, you want to build you. I mean, we're talking about renewing and becoming a new person. It doesn't mean being different. It just means changing who you are, not for others, but for you. And I think that's what people get wrong. When they say renew yourself, suddenly they start looking at media and they're saying, okay, now I'm going to change myself. Who am I going to copy? No. It means, okay, I think I want to be different because I want to be like this, not because they're doing that and I need to do that because they're happy and I want to be happy. No. Do you for you. And you're going to be hearing you a lot. So, you know what? If this is going to be on YouTube, I want you to put the number how many times I said you in this entire video. I probably said it a lot. Or Instagram, or Discord, or whatever social media you use, I guess, and find this video on. So, as a famous author, Proles Buck wrote, "Inside myself is a place where I live all alone, and that's where you renew your springs that never dry up." How to feed your soul. I think a lot of us have our own ways of feeding the soul, and here's the way I'd like to explain it. Some of us feed our soul by listening to music that enriches us. Some of us write, and I don't know, a lot of people don't have journals, but for those who do, they write because they want to enrich themselves with what they're going through with their life. Some people like to enrich themselves through their goals. They want to show how driven, how hardworking they are. And some people are driven just by the social interactions they have. Some people pride themselves in relationships. And while that's a good thing, all these things are good. They shouldn't be your only concern, but each of us have our own thing, our own ideal, our own values to us. You. You are you. I am me. She is she, and she is she. You. Now, this is a way of renewing our soul. What do I mean by that? Well, while many of us nourish our soul, we renew it by doing different things every day. We are all susceptible to change. We are all constantly adapting. Now, when I mean adapting, I don't mean, well, this person's mean to me, therefore, guess what I'm about to do? No. What it means is more along the lines of, hey, I want to be a goal-oriented person. Whereas before, I was more of a peace-driven one. Just one of bygones be bygones. Hakuna Matata. Shala Kazing. I don't know. I don't know. But it's more of change because it's what we want. It's more of adapt because it's what we need. That's what it means to renew. Men and women who turn their lives over to God will find out that He can make a lot more out of their lives than they can. That is so true. Now, it doesn't mean that God's going to come in and say, hey there, well, I see you have a couple of problems in your life, so I have a couple of things I want to talk to you about. Chores, homework, your life, your career, your family, your friend. No. And of course, it's not finding it deep within you. God is going to come to you in a message. Maybe. I don't know. It's more of God already gave us everything we have. Now, I want you to listen now. Don't lose track of it. Please, listen. This is important. I need you to listen, to actually listen to this part. God is not going to send anything because there's nothing to be sent. God already placed all the pieces. Now you just have to play them. It doesn't come to you. It's already there. You just have to find it. Whoa, I've never thought you'd hear that. You're always hearing people say, where is God? Well, God is here. He doesn't, what we think is supposed to happen is not. Already 10 steps ahead of you, bro. Already knows what needs to happen. It's just up to you whether you want to pick up those pieces. Because He also gave us free will, He knows that He's not going to intervene with our lives. Of course not. That's not free will anymore. That's just manipulation. True free will is actually making the decisions and picking up either the fruits of your labor or the consequences. So, what people who turn their lives over to God, well, they deepen their joys. They find their visions and expand on it. Kid you not, most people in history, such as Sir Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein, were not God-fearing men, but rather God-loving. So it's not whether that you need to love God, because God always loves you, whether you like it or not. It's whether you choose to accept that love. It's something that tends to steam into the soul and usurp its roots into there. And if you don't know what usurp means, look it up, because I had to look it up too. He will quicken their minds, strengthen their muscles, lift their spirits, and multiply their blessings. Wow. That seems like a package deal. That's like better than any bundle you can offer me on a vacation. It's incredible. And of course, know our own, yet again, our own ideas of what that is. What is all this? Is it giving me what I want? No. Because in the end, He doesn't need to give us anything. He already put everything there. It's up to us whether we want to receive it or not, find it or not. Lastly, He increases our opportunities for success, and He pours out peace. Incredible. Could I not put it any better myself? That is incredible. I mean, He doesn't come to us physically or in some random miracle, but rather he opens our eyes and lets us see the opportunities to find what he's already set there for us. And he pours out peace. I mean, think of it like this. What would most people do if they were to find themselves in a life-threatening situation? No, I'm not talking about, well, coronavirus, this is it. I'm just waiting to be infected. No, I'm talking about the worst of the worst. You're in a plane and suddenly, and it's crashing. What do you think you're going to do? Oh, well, guess I'm dead. Woo! No. I mean, hope not. No. You'd be finding the average man, well, pouring his heart out to something, someone, or as the masses like to call it, some deity. But for us, it's God. We pour our heart, our soul, and we ask him to save us. They're on their knees, they're begging. They're saying, please help me survive. Or let me know that there's some future for me in some afterlife. So in a time of trouble and tribulation, you wouldn't find most people, well, going crazy, living their last moments. No. You find them begging, looking for peace, knowing he offers peace. I'm thinking, now, you may think, no, that's not going to help me. I'm pretty sure I'd find catching you on your knees and praying, or maybe not on your knees, and maybe not with your hand closed, maybe just closing your eyes, maybe not, maybe just thoughts in your head. Whatever! I'm going too long with this. I'm taking this too long. I don't need to do anything. You know you. In your time of actual need, you ask for peace. But what if you started asking for peace just whenever something small troubles you? You never have a single trouble in the world. Actually, you will, but they will go. That is actually a part of giving yourself hope. God won't come because it's already there. It's you. That's part of free will, baby. Gotta enjoy it. It feels twice as good to know that we did it on our own, like God wanted us to, rather than him having to intervene and having to do it all himself. Because then it's not us. It's not who we are. God, I think like God, he loves authenticity. He loves honesty. He wants you to be you. That's why he, created you. So your soul is a very private area of your life. Naturally, there are many ways to feed it. Here are a few shared ideas, or ideas shared by teens. Meditating. No, I don't mean, ooh, no. Well, that was pretty loud. No, sometimes meditating, what it really is just processing everything. No, it doesn't mean thinking about a random sentence. You need to work on it. You need to work on it. You need to work on it. No. It just means, what do they mean? Work on it. Work on what? What is it that I need to work on? Why does it need work? It's just processing it over and over and expanding on it till you have come to your own conclusion. You don't need anyone else's conclusion but yours, because what's normal to you is only normal to you. It may be shared by others, but everyone has their own perspective of what's normal. Don't let others decide that for you. Meditating helps you come to your own conclusions. Serving others. No, it does not mean I'm going to clean your room, I'm going to feed your dog, do your chores, pick up the groceries. I don't know what you do. I mean, you guys are teens. Whatever you guys do, I'm not going to do it for you out of, well, just because. That's not serving others. It's more like doing all the work for them. When you serve others, it's not because, well, you're just doing everything for them. It's because it's something they need. Now, don't say, oh, I need my room cleaned. No. I mean, yes, you do. But it's not something you need help for. That's where we find the line. That's where we draw the line. It's not whether or not you feel like you need it. It's whether or not it's the difference between I'm going to lose it. That's what it means to serve others. So serving others, well, it can feed your soul. It brings you a sense of happiness. I did something right. I helped. I made a difference, a change. Somewhat you could say you're feeding into their soul as well. And remember what we talked about? When you put into a relationship bank account, it'll eventually come to your own. And a couple of other things that could help feed your soul, whether or not you choose to do these, is writing in my journal to reflect, going for a walk to let the mind wander, reading inspiring books, well, to inspire, drawing to let your mind flourish in creativity, praying to ask questions to God and to think about it. It is a type of meditating, but rather than thinking of it on your own, you have someone else helping you. Someone, rather than doing it on your own, you're having someone else flourish it, grow it, like a water can over a plant. Writing poetry or music to help your brain think better and thinking deeply. Well, to think deeply. It is what it is. A couple of final things. Listening to uplifting music also helps because it lifts. Playing a musical instrument. Now, nothing is more accomplishing than playing music that you like. It is one of the best feelings. Talking to friends I can be myself with. Going back to toxic friends, right? This is not a class about toxic friends, which is why I'm going to cut it here. When you find friends you can be yourself with, they are a true friend, where they don't judge you for asking the stupidest questions and where you're free to be yourself. You can mess up. You can make a mistake because they won't catch you on it. They won't use it. And finally, reflecting on my goals or mission statement. Yes, that will feed the soul. From experience, finding my own mission statement was the best feeling. And you know when I found it? Wow, it was actually like 2 months ago. Like 18 years of not having one. And it feels good. It really does. Because now it's like having a sense of purpose. It's not finding your own road. I mean, it kind of is. It's more like having your joy become a goal. Most goals lead to joy, but a mission statement is when the joy is going to the goal. That is what a mission statement is. That's kind of what I talked about at one point. Someone had asked, how do I find my mission statement? Well, find something that fulfills you. It's not about getting to the goal when you're doing a mission statement, because usually mission statements don't have an ending. There is no ending. Mission statements are something you're going to have until the day you pass. Mission statements are when getting to the actual goal, doing the goal is what brings you joy, not just finishing it. So those are a couple of soul nourishing techniques. Now, another thing I'd like to talk about is getting back to nature. Your spiritual diet will help you get back to nature. What do I mean? Well, I mean, you need to have your grains, your meats, you need to have your vegetables, and then it'll be good in your stomach. Thus, there's your spiritual diet, which is the last one. All right, guys, it's been good having you, and thank you so much for I love doing this. I love pulling out these psychs. Like, I could be the guy who goes psych, but I just thought it better just to say no. Of course not. Your spiritual diet, what really is it? Well, it's more of what you allow yourself to consume. Now, what do I mean by consume? Like food, guess, materials. What are you talking about? Information. I'm talking about media. Now, you're probably thinking, this guy's going to rant about why I need to get off Instagram, why I need to get off Twitter, why I need to stop watching YouTube, and why I need to start reading a book. No. Here's a better one. I'm going to start telling you what you should start watching and what you should start avoiding. Now, let me explain. Do you think you can go a whole day without media? No, I don't mean your phone. I don't mean technology. I just mean in general. You get in a car, suddenly radio turns on. What do you hear? Media, music. Music has lyrics. What are the lyrics saying? What are they telling you? You go to a store. What are the stores playing? Music. What are they advertising? Well, they have a lot of stuff. They have a sale. What is, like, stuff on your phone? What are you watching? You're watching celebrities, TV, things you listen to. I mean, I'm not going to judge what you listen to. We all have our own preferences, but believe it or not, if all media was taken away from you, you're going to have withdrawal pains. And no, I don't mean you literally cannot live without it. That's not what I meant. I think what I meant was that it'll be kind of annoying, like an annoying itch. I kind of need to check my phone. Like right now, I have to check it. I need to check what people are saying about that picture I posted last night, about that meme I made, about a meme I shared, about that video, about the comment. Or I just need to check this person out because this person made me laugh, and if I don't check them out now, I won't feel the laugh I want to. Or I need to be entertained. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. I'm not going to tell you to stay away from media because our life now revolves around media. I mean, how do you think you're watching this video? I'm instead going to tell you to not get rid of it altogether, but rather find the right media. What do I mean? Well, I think you don't need to find very strict music. I'm not going to tell you what you should listen to because free will, you get to decide whatever you want. Just avoid anything, any type of media, music, images, videos that tend to, I guess, downplay certain aspects that now are not seen to be wrong. Well, you see people criticizing other things, and now it's okay to be criticizing other people. Like, this person just made fun of a child. Well, I guess we can make fun of other people now, because, I mean, if he can do a child, we can do anybody, right? So this person says, I don't know about this child, so then you're going to say, I don't know about this person. Wow. And it's all been normalized. A big thing that's been normalized was being in a relationship. In fact, it's not normal if you're not in a relationship by the time you're in high school, which I think is crazy. Now, of course, some of you are like, of course it's not true. You don't need to be in a relationship. No, but I'm not talking about media. I'm talking about the peer pressure. People are telling you, why don't you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? That's crazy. Now, it could be other things as well. Why don't you have a job? Why don't you have your career planned out? Why aren't you in college? And you're like, I'm just a teenager. Suddenly I'm supposed to be like my parents. That's a sad thing, I know. But media enforces that. You have these people making money. Now, money's important because they have these fat stacks and, they have, clout. I'm popular. So now you're like, I have to be popular. And this doesn't apply to everybody, all right? But maybe it might. I'm not going to point any fingers, except for this one, at you, the person that I know I'm talking about. See, I don't know who I'm talking about, but suddenly some person's like, oh, you're talking to me? But either way, can you imagine watching things that aren't vain? Like, I think a lot of the stuff we watch can be pretty vain. It can be about your body. It can be about money, your career, your job. It can be about how you do things. Habits, what you do, the friends you hang around. Keep these people out of your life and these in because these guys are cooler and will get you. Like, come on. And why am I against media? I'm not against media. Why did I bring it up? because some of you may be thinking that. That's okay. But the reason I say this is because, well, media has normalized so many things. I mean, depression is now like a cute quirk. My life sucks. I'm depressed. I'm a sad person. No, it's been normalized. Now being depressed, we're depressed. Yeah. Well, no, that's just sad. Being proud of something bad. I'm a loser. Yeah. I think many people use it as a way to soften the blow of the reality. But imagine if you're going to start doing that, then why don't you sarcastically start saying things like, I don't know. Hey, bro, I'm worth $1 million, baby. You can't afford me. That's, of course, you're being sarcastic. But because you're being sarcastic, that softens the blow, I guess. But even better, if you keep saying that, you'll actually feel like $1 million for some reason because you've made it a habit. If you start saying, I'm like the best, well, not the best. I'm the most good-looking person. You keep saying that, suddenly you start thinking you're the most good-looking person. Because, well, it's a habit. 7 habits of highly effective teams. Boom! Yes, we come full circle. So, although media can be endearing and it can be fun, we need to keep our minds entertained. Don't let it consume you. Don't consume it too much. Come on. To keep your spiritual diet from dying out, to keep it nourished, sometimes it's not about just consuming media. It's about choosing what to consume. Instead of looking at videos about how these guys have such a better life than you, right? And maybe it's a life you want to achieve. Start looking at videos that tell you how to achieve the life you want, if you really want that life. Start looking for solutions rather than problems. And you know what? I think this is like something I learned. People love pointing out the problem, but they never want to give you a solution. Oh, I'm broke. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm broke. I have no money. I'm no job. Now imagine if someone starts saying, well, I want to get a job. I want to get hired. I want to make money. So it's just changing the sentence just a little bit can move it from pessimistic to optimistic. It just nourishes your spirit. You become from a pessimist to an optimist, or a pessimist to optimist. Whichever way you want me to point, because there's nothing here. I have nothing behind me. All right? It's a wall. So, yeah. I mean, in the end, it's all you. You is you. Add it to the list. You is you, you is you, you is you, you is you. How much was that? You tell me. I don't know. So, there is a light and a dark side to media, which is kind of what I've been stating. You want to stay more in the light rather than in the dark. You want to avoid things that maybe talk about there's this enemy out there and we need to destroy it. I mean, imagine that. 2 people seeing each other as the enemy, but in their own eyes, they're both the hero. That's crazy, right? And people seem to forget that. Like, they were like this so-called enemy you had. Before you met them, they were just this person. But suddenly they're your enemy because something happened. You get this enemy mentality. I turn on the TV, look at the news so I can check on my latest enemy. What am I mad at now? What am I sad at now? Tell me. Oh, more people died. Oh, I'm mad. I'm sad. Like, this is what it's all about. Media has just become this whole garbage mess. And it's meant to just, and I don't mean to be no conspiracy theorist. It's meant to control us. We're the consumers. No. I need to calm myself down. It's meant more to, well, at first it was meant to connect us, but now it's meant to control and divide us. And that's the truth. I'm sorry. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I just think that's what it is. Social media like Twitter and Facebook was meant to communicate with your friends, loved ones, or random people. Now it's just meant to, berate others inform the public about the worst things ever, and it doesn't nourish the spirit. In fact, it destroys. It destroys it. It can bring you, like I said, to your lowest instincts where you lose all hope. But hope is something you create, not wait for. So another problem we're going to talk about are addictions. Now, how are addictions developed? They're developed when our soul lacks nourishment. So we have to find one dedicated source and rely all on it. It's okay to watch TV, but that doesn't mean you have to rely on only the TV to bring you happy. I need to keep watching, like, yes, laughter, best medicine. Watch Tom and Jerry cartoons. I'm pretty sure the guy doesn't just keep watching it forever just to get happiness. I'm pretty sure it's just to remind him of laughter, not just be reminded of it. I mean, what do addictions really do? They bring constant happiness, but they don't really last that long. The more, I think sometimes people think addictions are a good thing. I'm talking about the people with addictions, not the people without. What's so wrong with an addiction to working out? What's so wrong with it? And yes, there can be healthy habits, but here's the problem. Let me tell you the problem. It gets old. It's never going to bring you the same pleasure again. Here are 5 problems addiction can create. It creates short-term pleasure. Literally. It will never bring you the same amount of happiness it brought the first time. It's like listening to the same song over and over again. First it was good, but if someone forces you to keep listening to it for 1,000 times, you're going to want to, explode out of insanity. I can't do this anymore. You'll go crazy. Now all you can do is just recite the song over and over again. You've just been brainwashed. It becomes a primary focus of your life. You tend to lose all sight. The addiction is now part of you. That's all you focus on. It's this. This is my goal. And, well, it not only creates short-term pleasure, it's not even that good. Like, drinking a soda feels good, but not as good as maybe winning an award, feeling accomplished, getting recognition. That is something you'll remember than any other soda you've ever drank in your entire life. I bet if I ask you, oh yeah, name every time you drank a soda, you're gonna be like, well, I can remember a couple of times. That's because it's addictions. Now, I'm not saying you every time you go to McDonald's and order soda, it develops to your addiction. What I'm saying is, the more you consume something, the less appealing it will be and the less happiness it will bring into your life. It only temporarily eliminates pain. Well, of course, if you keep going with an addiction, the pain will, just stay away from your mind, but it's only temporary. Who do you think have it better? People who deal with the problem right off the bat, just get over with, or the people who are constantly in fear of having to run into that problem again? Who do you think have it better? Well, no, these people. The people who already dealt with the problem. The people that can sleep at night thinking, I don't have to deal with that problem anymore. The people who do will stay up all night thinking, I need to wake up the next day to continue in my addiction because, I'm crazy. Well, you're not crazy, but you need the addiction to just keep your mind off things. And, some of us need to sleep, unless the people who don't, then, like I said, addictions are bad. It gives an artificial sense of self-worth and power, control, security, and intimacy. Wow, that's true. It's like, it's not even real. I mean, let's say people who are addicted to just eating and eating and eating. Well, it gives you, some people eat for security. Some people eat, for power because it just tastes so good. I mean, yeah, like that's a real problem. Another addiction would be binge watching. Now, sometimes you're like, well, quarantine, all I can do is binge. Yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out. But if it's because you're running away from the problem, well, suddenly you feel it gives you control, security, power. Because you're like, hey, this is something I can do and something I like doing. Or maybe it's not that. Maybe you have to start doing things. I don't know. People develop weird addictions and different ones. Although people only talk about the ones that are common among a lot. Believe it or not, some of the people are addicted to cleaning, and you're like, oh, I wish I was addicted to cleaning. You're like, then you don't realize they're just running away from their problems. Like, big time. Some people are addicted to their work. You're like, whoa, I want to be addicted to my work, because then that means I'll love working. They don't love working. It's just something to take their mind off things. And you know what addictions can do? They worsen the problems and feelings you are trying to escape from. What I mean is, you're going to enter autopilot mode. What is that? You're just going to go by the days, living life, watching days pass by, not even enjoying any single one. Because you realize, I can't enjoy this day because the problem is still around. So you keep going through them, through them, and through them, and through them. You're on autopilot. You're like, what did you do this whole 2 months? Well, because I had the problem 2 months and I was running away from it. Or maybe not 2, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Your whole high school career. Your whole middle school. Like maybe you're now just in high school and then you still have problems from middle school. It can last a while. Or forever if you don't stop. It doesn't help. It's going to hurt. Would you rather just pull the Band-Aid slowly or let the Band-Aid rot all over you? It's going to infect the same wound it was trying to protect. And then it's going to be even worse because now Band-Aid can't even help fix what the first one caused. Or do you want to just rip it off, let it feel the pain, let it go away? Addictions are like a Band-Aid. It heals the wound, but only temporarily. It's not meant to stay there forever. And that's a good analogy. I need to write that down. So have the courage to walk away, Just throw it away. You're better than that. And I'm not saying, you're better than that. I'm saying you're better than that. I believe in you. This is a Shia LaBeouf video. Do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. Yeah. Better you. Better life. Do it. You is you. You is you. You are you. You is you. Live by that. Write that down. I don't know how many times I said it. So, yeah. We're going to talk about the final thing. Get real. That's right. Get real. As we close this chapter, let me share a couple of final thoughts. There is a time for everything. There is a time to be balanced. There's a time to be imbalanced. There is a time to work hard at everything you do, and you're sleeping correctly, the amount of time you need to sleep. You're doing the work you need to do. You're doing the chores you need to do. You're doing what you need to do. You're getting your stuff done. There's time to just eat junk food out of the vending machine, just sleep your days away, because there's a time for everything. We make time when we want it. Because you know what? Guess what all this is? Guess what the final thing I'm going to say to you is? Because we're about to finish. It's life. I think people are so focused into this thing of what is life. They're focused into goal. They're focused into relationship. They're focused into me, into spirituality. And yes, but God gave us something incredible, and that was life. To experience all this. Now, most of you might go through hard times might say, well, I don't like experiencing what I'm experiencing. Well, imagine when you get out of that hole. How great would it feel than when you didn't get in the hole? Someone who eats every single day will not enjoy the food much more than someone who hasn't eaten in a long time. Think of that. If you go hard for too long, you won't think as clearly, you'll get cranky, and you'll begin to lose perspective. You may think you don't have time to exercise, build friendships, or get inspired. In reality, you don't have time not to. Ever think of that? Where it's like, I don't have the time to exercise. Like, okay, I don't have the time to focus on my relationship with my family and friends. Okay, I don't have the time to focus on my goals. Okay, then what do you have the time to focus on? Really? What is life to you? Maybe putting it bluntly, it sounds like, whoa, you're trying to put all this on me. Well, it depends on how you interpret these things. Exercise isn't hitting the gym and then getting 50 reps and going, whoo. No. Exercise doesn't have to be doing athlete training. Exercise can just be going for a walk. Just put on your favorite tunes and just go walk. Is there a park nearby? Or just walk around your driveway. The street, go like back and forth around the sidewalk. Or it can just maybe doing a couple of push-ups a day. Or not push-ups. Maybe just going, if you have stairs, up and down the stairs. Like, it's how you perceive things that lets you understand them. When you have an open mind, when you have different perspectives, you'll know. What do you see in this paper right here? Well, it's a clear paper. But if I was to flip it on the other side, well, I don't know if you can see it, but I have things written on it. Two perspectives. The guy on this side says the paper is blank, and the guy on this side says the paper has words. Think of it as that. This is exercise. The guy says exercising is nothing but just getting a bunch of reps, and the other guy says exercising is health. And that's true. Building friendships as well. We go into that. One guy says, oh, it's too hard. They waste my time. I could do doing better things. What? Exercising? You said no. The same with goals. And then the other guy says, I want to build my relationship because I want to feel nourished. I want to help each other because two people can make it more further than one. Or I don't have time for my goals. Get real. Get real. Who is you? If you don't have time for your goals, then what do you have time for? Like I said, I want to be blunt, but going back to this, one guy says, I don't have time for goals, right? It's too much. There's not enough time. Well, the average lifespan is like 80 years. So if you're a teenager, you've barely scratched the surface of how much time you have. Who's telling you to rush? Who's telling you that you need to start doing things quickly? Now, I understand what you mean when you say you don't have the time. And let me tell you, you're wrong when you think the way you think, when you think about how time is perceived. Education, career, goal, relationship, friendship, fun, it's all part of life as we go. There is no schedule. There is no, okay, at 40, I'm supposed to get into a car crash with a chocolate car. I'm supposed to meet my friends at school. Like, no. It's just get real. What time? What's telling you you don't have enough time? What's telling you that you have time to spend better on? Well, if you think there's something better than spending time on your goal, that must be amazing. Because last time I checked, finishing a goal is one of the greatest accomplishments one can feel. It's like getting a paycheck after a long, hard day of work, getting all the rewards. It's incredible. It's a reward system. Unless you have a job, you don't want to tell your boss, there's a time for everything. No, don't do that either. The downtime you spend sharpening your saw will pay you back immediately. Because when you resume your normal routine, you'll cut much faster. So what does it truly mean to sharpen your saw? When you focus on you, developing yourself, sharpening the saw, making it pointy and sharp as it is sharpening, you'll find that once the saw is sharpened, you cut much better than what it originally did. When you focus on you, when you actually develop yourself in what you're supposed to, you as you'll be able to live your life much better than you had originally before. That's probably why I've been rambling for a while. I mean, there are all these things, and I want to address a lot because I know people will ask questions and they probably won't be answered. So I might as well leave the answers here just like God has left the answers for everyone. He placed the pieces. I'm placing the pieces here too. I'm trying to avoid the problem of people saying, well, what about this? Answer. Well, what about this? Answer. That's why I have to address all these things. Hopefully, you will understand. Final note, because I said final note. You can do it. And this time, avoiding the Shia LaBeouf thing about the whole you can do, like, do it. No. Think about encouragement. I believe in you. People believe in you. You may not notice it. God believes in you. I mean, that's why you're here. Believe that you can do it. Because you can. You can do it. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. So I encourage you. Get to check on what you need to do. Maybe you already are. That's fantastic. Use this as extra motivation. But you can do it. I don't know who you are. But if I'm sure that if I already met you, or you're a new person watching this, I believe in you. No matter how old you are, no matter how young, no matter how different we are, I believe in you. And whatever your goals are. Last thing to finish this off would be the Spirit. We're going to have an extra class on the Spirit. It does not do with 7 habits of highly effective teams. But what the class will talk about is how these habits are entwined with what the Bible already says. The Bible has been around longer than anyone alive on earth right now. It's true, right? You're probably like, no, it's true. It's not even a rule book. It's not even a book to read for fun. It's almost like a guidebook. That's what people have been calling it. It's a literal guidebook. And we're going to go more into, and we're going to finally sum up next Sunday, the 7 habits of highly effective teams, or whenever you watch those Super Bowl announcers. Yeah, you can do it. I'm going to end this in prayer. And I know that in the end, you is you. And now, for the final words, you is you, you is you, you is you. Thank you. Let's end this in prayer. Thank you, God, for this wonderful day you have given us. Thank you for all these people. Lord, I believe in them. I believe in them. They were made for great things. They don't have a job or a purpose because their job and purpose is to just live their life the way you wanted them to live their life. Let these habits not develop them into something that society wants, but something that you want. Because in the end, you only want what's best for us. So Lord, please, help us understand that. Lord, thank you for so much you have done. You've been watching us for so long. You've never given up hope, even when people think that you have. You never did. Lord, thank you for loving us no matter what we do. Even when we fail, even when we think we don't deserve anything, you're there. It's fantastic. Thank you. Incredible. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for everyone that's helped. And please bless and help everyone who's struggling. Only you know better, Lord. I place my faith in you, and I'll let you take the rest from here, Lord. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, amen. Thank you guys so much for watching. We don't know if we're going to have church next Sunday, but whether we do or we don't, the next class is going to talk about how the Spirit is intertwined with all 7 habits of highly effective tweens. Not tweens, teens. Thank you for watching.